Well, you might have a big fat mortgage and a big fat interest rate to service that mortgage. I know I certainly do. But what if we told you that the money the bank lent you doesn't actually exist?
You're paying interest on a loan that's been conjured up out of thin air. Sounds crazy? Watch this story by Heather du Plessis-Allen.
People were becoming more and more indebted, paying the price that they can't afford simply to have a home. It was like a light went on. The banks created money out of thin air.
Just in case you didn't get that, here it is again.
The banks created money out of thin air.
Created not really like this, more like this. But ultimately, these numbers do represent this, the hard stuff. Now, I know what you're thinking. You're thinking banks don't print money. The government prints the money. Or maybe the Reserve Bank prints the money. Well, that's what I thought too, but it turns out that we are all wrong. Check the figures. Last year, this much new money appeared in the country.
It's almost like a big Ponzi scheme.
Did you just call banks a big Ponzi scheme?
I said it's almost like a big Ponzi scheme.
You're probably thinking there must be more to it. No, this is an International Monetary Fund document that backs up what we've just told you. See this? Banks are almost fully in control of the money creation process.
If you want to read this for yourself, you can find it on our website.
Still unconvinced?
No, this is this is what you learn in first-year economics at university. This is how banks work, and there is no sort of great mystery to it.
Shamabil Jakob, economist, quite surprised that we're, well, surprised.
If you have faith that the money is there, then it all works. And that's what our system works on. It's based on faith that the institutions, the banks, the system that's in place, the rules and regulation protects us, and that we won't go bankrupt, and we will have our obligations paid.
Exactly. So why should you care? Well, some say because banks can just keep producing money, it'll just keep driving up the price of our houses. And if we lose faith, you could lose all your money in the bank.
The chairman of the UK Financial Services Authority came out at the end of last year and said the primary cause of the financial crisis was the fact the authorities had not restrained the ability of the private banks to issue and create the money supply.
Are you advocating that governments print money?
Absolutely, but in limited quantities.
Former London banker Raf Manji, former colleague of John Key, he thinks the government should print the money and use it to pay for Christchurch's rebuild.
The thing about the government is that they can issue the money supply interest-free. So, for example, for an infrastructure project that needs say $1 billion, the government can actually issue that directly into circulation. There's no interest charge. If the banks issued that into circulation, it would come with interest.
But what's wrong with the way that we do things now?
There's no control. That's the problem. And the problem is also, why should we be paying interest to fund public infrastructure projects when we don't need to?